Fewtrell here, just going to show you my D800 setup for taking a HDR shot. I'm down here at a very secret location this morning. I'm sure that some of you will recognise the location. It's a Long Reef on the northern beaches of Sydney. The sun itself has risen now, and so the best colours have gone, but I thought I'd just quickly show you how I'm using my D800 to capture a HDR image, because it is a little bit different to the earlier Nikon. So that's my D800 right there, with my 16 to 35mm lens on it. It's a fantastic camera. I'm really enjoying the megapixels and really enjoying the quality that I'm getting out of it. The other thing that's really good for those of you that like shooting HDR is it's really easy to change from HDR to single shot. And it's much easier than, each HDR shot is much easier than what it was when in the old Nikons, where you had to use the interval timer shooting and change the, you had to go in and press a few different buttons to get it to do it. So let me show you exactly the settings that I've got set up. What is different about the D800 compared to the earlier D700s exactly is these buttons here. As you can see, this one's got a bracketing button. In the past, the D700 or any other Nikon didn't have that. It only had 3 buttons, and the bracketing was a function that you had to... I actually had mine programmed into the function button on the front of the camera, but it's now there, so it's quite simple. You can just press that button and that will adjust the number of frames. So you can see that I've got 5 frames dialed up. By holding down that button and dialing this frame here, I can actually change the number of frames. The front dial will change the exposure value by which the number of bracketing is, so it's that simple. If I want to go back to just taking a single shot, I just put it on to 0, and then I'll tell you while it's on timer in a second, and I'll put that back on the single shot, and that'll allow me now just to take a single shot. Now the reason I put it on to timer is because that helps me with my exposure bracketing for HDR. If I go into the menu, let's go into the menu and have a look. You'll see the self timer there. You'll see the delay is 2 seconds. You'll see the number of shots is 5. So it actually takes the 5 shots for me. I'm not sure why I don't need to change that, but when I use the bracketing and the timer together, I don't think that number matters, because I've dialed up 7 shots or 7 different exposures, and it still works and does the 7 shots for me. So I'm not sure why that is the case, but there you go. So the cool thing is that it's quite simple just to use. Get your bracketing button there. Let's just check that again. I'm just going to bring that back up for the 5 shots. It's on 0 at the moment, so I'll bring that back up to 5 shots. And I'll hit the shutter button and we'll take a shot. Here we go. 1, 2. So I don't know if you could hear that or not, but that just took the 5 shots for me. So that's it. So a HDR shot has been taken, the 5 separate exposures. It's that simple. And then if I did want to go back to just single shooting, I can quickly back to an S, hit the bracket, wind that back to a 0, and there you go, I'm back there. So overall, I found the D800 to be really, really good camera. I've had it for about 4 weeks now, and I've probably done, I don't know, 1,500 shots through it. And it's a really good camera. What I'm enjoying a lot is the megapixels. So from a landscaping point of view, for a landscape photographer, this camera, it really just beats everything else hands down, and makes it, even panoramic cropping is very doable just from a single frame rather than stitching together, and you still end up with a good 12 to 16 megapixel file depending on the cropping that you use, whether it's 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, but it's very, very good. You'll see on top there, that there is actually my level bubble, that one there, and actually with this camera, it's not as important. I don't like crooked horizons in landscape shots, but through the viewfinder in this camera, one of the good things about this camera is through the viewfinder, it has its own sort of leveling system, so it's very easy to keep level. There you go, there's the D800. Showing you how to use it for auto bracketing for your HDR photography.